Back at the White House, the president's national security team is meeting today to talk about military options against Iran. Of course, this is in response to a deadly crackdown on a days-long anti-regime protest. Protesters have taken to the streets in all of Iran's 31 provinces in the past 2 weeks. Reuters has reported that more than 2,000 people have been killed. So let's bring in CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams, who's following the latest developments from neighboring Iraq.
An Iranian official says the death toll in the protest is around 2,000, according to the Reuters news agency. But that official apparently blamed, quote, terrorists for the deaths, despite videos that appear to show Iranian security personnel opening fire on the protesters. Now, we cannot independently verify the number of dead, but President Trump has repeatedly threatened to hit Iran very hard if protesters are killed. US officials told CBS News that Trump has been briefed on an array of options, not just military strikes against Iran, but also cyber operations and psychological campaigns. Last night, the president announced a new 25% tariff on any country doing business with Iran. The Iranian government organized its own mass rallies yesterday, with a senior Iranian official calling President Trump delusional and arrogant and warning that Iran will retaliate if the US takes military action. But behind closed doors, it seems that Iran is seeking a diplomatic solution to this crisis, with direct communications taking place between Iran's foreign minister and President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. Holly Williams, CBS News, Koya in northern Iraq.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is live from the White House. So, Natalie, break down what do we know about this new briefing?
Well, this briefing comes as we have a new social media post from President Trump just minutes ago. And in it, he has a new message to protesters saying, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. This comes, as you heard Holly describe, human rights groups have said that the death toll has exploded. He's saying that these abusers will pay a big price. And he also goes on to say, I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. And this is important because sources had told CBS News that there was an effort by Iran's foreign minister to have communications with the administration's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and possibly set up a meeting. But now, as we are seeing the killings escalate in Iran, according to human rights groups, the president is again saying that he's not going to have meetings until that stops. He also goes on to say help is on the way. But the question that remains is, what is President Trump's red line as he considers and weighs these options with his national security team? It was January 2nd when he first posted and threatened that he could intervene if peaceful protesters were killed. We still do not know at what point that intervention could happen, but the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt yesterday was stressing, emphasizing that diplomacy remains the first option. Take a listen.
What you're hearing publicly from the Iranian regime is quite differently from the messages the administration is receiving privately. And I think the president has an interest in exploring those messages. However, with that said, the president has shown he's unafraid to use military options if and when he deems necessary. And nobody knows that better than Iran.
So again, Caroline Leavitt was saying that what they were hearing internally was different than the public messaging, but now we are seeing a potential rise in the death toll and potentially the administration's calculus changing. A lot of questions still remain, Vlad and Kelly.
Yeah, but Natalie, to your point about that Truth Social post, the president saying in that post that help is on the way. Look, this is still the president. He is the president of the United States. His words carry weight. We all remember back in 2012, President Obama saying in response to Bashar al-Assad and the potential use of chemical weapons against his own people, that would constitute a red line in the sand. When Bashar al-Assad ultimately did use chemical weapons on his own people, the Obama administration did not enforce whatever that red line in the sand was. That is considered a significant foreign policy failure. So what is the president suggesting when he says help is on the way? For people who are hearing that in Iran, it represents what the words mean. Help is on the way.
That remains the question, and that was the question, a couple weeks ago when, again, the president said that he could potentially intervene. Now we have more specific information from sources talking to CBS News about what the administration could be considering, and you heard Holly talk about it a little bit. It's not just military options, traditional air power, but also Pentagon planners, according to what CBS News has learned, has presented these possible cyber options aimed at trying to destabilize Iran's command and control structure and also, interfere with some of the communications and state-run media.
All right. We know the president is heading on the road to Detroit soon, Natalie. If he speaks to reporters or to you, we'll obviously bring that to our viewers right here on CBS News 24/7. Natalie Brand reporting from the White House. Thank you.